Want to land your dream architecture job? Your portfolio is the key to success. Today, you will learn the secret to creating a visually stunning, well-written, and well-organized portfolio that will make you stand out from the competition and get you hired. As an architect student or professional, you're probably spending a lot of time on coursework and projects. And while that's great, it's also important to start thinking about your portfolio, selling yourself for future jobs to come. It is just like a resume, but it can make or break your chances of getting hired. So you don't want them to be seeing something like this. Stick until the end, where I will be talking about how you could be receiving a free portfolio review. First impressions are extremely important, but don't stress, because creating a great portfolio is easier than you may think. Instead of struggling in Adobe InDesign, trying to lay out pages of your project, there's a much easier way to do it, and that is by creating a website. Initially, you might be thinking, whoa, I don't know how to code, I don't want to put in that effort and time required to make a website. I'll stop you right there. I have found several websites that have simplified the process, and it's so easy, a fifth grader could do it. They are Wix.com, Squarespace, and WordPress. There are a ton of other website builder tools out there, so you can definitely find one that fits your budget and skill level. But don't be afraid to get a little creative and think outside the box. Maybe you want to create a 3D interactive model or a virtual reality experience. The possibilities are truly endless. The money you spend should be considered an investment into your future. Just like subscribing to this channel is a smart investment towards your future success. What should you include in your architecture portfolio that will get you hired? Well, first things first, make sure it's visually stunning. I know this is pretty obvious, but people are very visual learners. And so if they see something that's very poorly put together, does not look good at all, they will not flip through any more of the pages and stop right there. But if you create some compelling images that create interest for the viewer, they're more likely to stay and go through your whole portfolio. Use high quality images and layout designs that are easy to follow and not jumbled up, creating a lot of positive and negative space between images and not overfilling the amount of text that you use. Next, be selective with the projects that you put in your portfolio. Not everything deserves to be shown, because some projects just aren't that good. And in your early years of architecture school, this is very true, because some of those projects you have very little experience that are not worth showing to potential employers. Instead of including every project you've ever worked on, choose the ones that showcase your strengths and skills the best. And don't be afraid to leave out the weaker projects. It's better to have a shorter but strong portfolio than a long one of mediocre work. And this is something I've learned the hard way. I thought at one point that I should include everything I've done so they can see all the different projects and everything that I've ever created. But really, that's not the way to go. Recently, I've only been showing my most recent projects because they are the best. And although it might be 2 to 3 projects that I'm sending to a firm, they like that a lot more than having to go through 50 to 60 pages of 5 to 10 different projects. On one end, it makes it easier for me. I don't have to spend as much time sifting through all the projects and making them perfect, so I only have to do a couple. But it's also easier on their end because they don't have to spend the amount of time to go through that whole book and see everything that you've done. You simplified it for them, and they will reward you for that in the end. Also, don't forget to include a clear and concise written explanation of your design process, design intent, and problem-solving skills. Not only do employers want to see you design cool things and buildings with softwares that are compatible to what they're using, they also want to know how you arrived to those decisions and processes. By showing them process sketches or diagrams that helped you reach the final design, this will help the employer know how your process fits in with their firm strategy. This will give the reviewers an understanding of how you think as a designer. Another important aspect of creating a design portfolio is showcasing your technical skills. This might mean showing off your knowledge of AutoCAD, 3D modeling softwares, or other design softwares. But don't just list these skills on a resume. Include examples of how you've used them in your projects. One thing I've done in my portfolio, list the softwares that I used to create that design. This is a tangible way to show the employer how you apply those softwares into the final design, not just grading them based on a 1 to 5 scale or some things that I've seen before. That is very subjective. This is more of a definite answer for those employers to see exactly what you've done. Another way you can do this is having categories for each software and having little bits and pieces of projects that you've done showing your skills in each one. Or you can also get certification in certain softwares to show that you are proficient or even advanced in using them. Don't forget the power of storytelling. A good portfolio tells a story of your design process. Much like your final presentation, you're trying to sell your project to the reviewers, you're doing the same with the portfolio. But in this case, you're actually selling yourself to the people viewing your portfolio. The portfolio is a story of you and how you've thought about your projects and arrived from the beginning to the final design. So be sure to include sketches, models, and other process work to give potential employers a sense of your design thinking. Finally, don't forget to proofread again and again and again. Spelling and grammatical errors can make I look unprofessional. The can be the difference between getting hired or not. As you can see, that sentence was a little bit hard to read because in my script I wrote a couple things incorrectly. And so that's why it's important to proofread. A small thing like that will turn off a potential employer immediately. So make sure your proofreading is on point. You can use softwares like Grammarly and other things to make sure that everything is spelled correctly and in the proper order. Remember, your portfolio is a chance to showcase your abilities and make a great first impression. If you take your time, you'll be sure to impress potential employers. Good luck and happy designing. I'm going to quickly break down the difference between a website portfolio and an issue document, but also compare that to a physical portfolio. These are the three main ways people have showcased their portfolios, and I just kind of want to break it down so you guys can understand the benefits of each and where some of them are holding back. In certain ways, a website and issue are somewhat similar. You're able to upload your documents and your images online so that they can be sent out as links to potential clients and employers. This is a lot easier than sending a full-on book to everyone. Not only is that expensive, but it takes a lot of time. One thing that websites are better at is it provides a lot more diversity in media. It's not just the same page after page. And it also makes you stand out from the rest because a lot of people have a normal portfolio. There's millions of issue portfolios, but there's very few people that actually have a website portfolio. Not only is it easy for employers to view these websites, but you can send them easy, low file size, they don't have to download anything, and overall it's much more efficient. With websites, you're actually able to upload videos, animations, have slideshows, stuff like that. The more static images on issue and a physical portfolio do not provide the diversity of media in that aspect. Also, having a website, you can have multiple pages and there's not really a limit on file size for the overall website. Now, there is sometimes a file size on the individual image, but you're still able to upload very high quality images, just as good as issue or any other program. A website is just more efficient. You're able to easily import and delete images just like that, whereas with issue, you have to completely upload a whole new document. Now, later on, I will go through kind of a mock-up of how to create your own website, so stick around for that. A little note about having a website, you can actually check your statistics of the website. So if you're sending out links in emails to clients or employers, you can actually see where they clicked on it from, like what state or country, and then how long they viewed it, what pages they viewed, etc. And so that's very helpful information to see the click-through rate and how the retention of the viewers have been on your website. There's some differences between a website and a physical portfolio. A website can be shown at any time, any day, whether it's via the phone, a computer, or an iPad. It's easy to show in a one-on-one interview. You can just bring your laptop or iPad or even phone and not only send it to them so they can view it at the same time you were showing them, but you can just bring it anywhere. If you meet someone in an elevator, they can scan a QR code or they can even see the website from your phone. Now, this is a little tip that I suggest. When you are doing the website, the initial design mimics the computer screen. You have to go and follow additional steps to make sure the mobile website is just as good as the computer website, because there is a big difference in screen size and comparison. And so I've noticed that a lot of things do get messed up when they go to mobile. So you just have to make sure to take that time and adjust those settings. One thing that has really kept the physical portfolio going is just the fact people like to hold things in their hands and just flip through pages like a book. It's really interesting how critiquers and employers enjoy that process and just the feeling of having that book in their hands. So that is one benefit. It just gives a different feel and something that people aren't doing as much. So you would stand out if you had a physical portfolio, but I don't think it's the most efficient way to have and show your designs. Also, they're just expensive to make. You have to pay for printing. You have to take the time to set up the print file, set up the files on your computer to get ready, and then bind it together. There's a lot of steps that are very expensive and also just take some time. So not only is a website faster, it's in the long run, it's cheaper. Even though you can have some free options to create a website, it's cheaper. In the end, you can make your own decision and own judgment on which one you want to use. It just depends on the situation and how you are approaching reaching out to potential jobs. But comment below which one you prefer the most, and if you're going to consider trying to create a portfolio website. I'm going to be walking through the best way to create an architecture portfolio website. This is not a how-to tutorial on Wix, only an outline for the best way to approach laying out your website portfolio. The first thing you want to do is find out all the projects that you want to include. Gather the images or videos from those projects and put them into individual folders. This small step will make the whole thing a lot easier because it'll make it 10 times faster to import everything into Wix. You will first create an account, then click on create a new site. From there, you'll be able to describe what type of website you want to create. In this case, we'll be doing an architecture portfolio. And this will kind of give you a basis of what they're going to lay out for you and provide the different templates. So we'll click on portfolio, but they give you different options depending on the style and strategy that you're trying to accomplish. So it's a very intuitive software program, and I really like Wix dashboard. So first we'll begin and see what it looks like if you begin with a template, seeing how they will give you a template and you can go through and choose which one you think will fit your biggest style. The other option is to do a custom built template. So from there, you'll enter your information and it'll generate a template for you based on the themes, based on the things that you include. And so it gives you a couple different options. And if you never like these, you can always go back and retry, and it'll give you different generated homepages and designs. So we'll just click on this middle one and see what it gives you. From there, since you started with the homepage, it'll give you accessory and secondary pages that you can choose from to build on your portfolio. Now, for an architecture portfolio, you won't need too many pages. You really just need a main page with your resume and more information about you. Then you can start importing images and other things to start spicing up your portfolio and adding projects, etc. From there, we will open up a preview of the portfolio that I've designed. It's a very simple template. There's a homepage where you're able just to talk about yourself and what you're about, the different strategies you use, etc. And then we'll go to the next page, which is your resume. Now, this is clearly just an image, but it's just a placeholder to show you that you can put all your portfolio, resume information into one place. You don't have to send a resume or portfolio separate from each other. They're all on this website. So when you send them out to potential employers or clients, it's all together and easy for them to look through. Now here, you have all your projects on one page. And from there, people can click on individual projects to learn more about them. So this project just has a basic description about the project with a slideshow gallery of images showing the highlights of the project. Then moving on from that, as you go down, you can kind of explain the design process. And I said how important that was earlier. So I'm just reiterating that right here, how you can talk about how you came up with this project and dig deeper and describe what you did. And then you include the rest of the images that might not be as important, but are good supplementary documents and things to show. And that way they see everything about the project. And finally, I included some softwares that I used so the employer knows that the softwares I use can be applicable to where they're at.
Something that is so crucial to do is select the mobile setting and make sure that all the edits that you'd made on the website were compatible and look good on the mobile version, because sometimes things get out of orientation or text is out of line. Between the desktop and the mobile, things change and shift, so it's always important to check both types to make sure everything is going well. I mentioned earlier that you can check your analytics and access to the website from the homepage, and then you go to report. So you can traffic when people enter your page, the location, the device, if they're return customers, unique visitors, everything that you need to know for your website, you you can find on Wix, and this will help you track to see when you send your application or email to a potential employer, if they open it, where they're from, and how long they view. You can use that information to see what you can improve in the future.
Now that I've given you all this information about how to design a website and what's the best way to have a portfolio, I want to help you out even more and pass the baton to you to get feedback on your own portfolio. Now, how to do this is you have to subscribe and then leave a comment below saying that you want a portfolio review, and then list one main issue that you're having with your portfolio or struggle that you need help with. And as always, welcome to the grind.